detect and diagnose what's wrong with a patient clearer and faster than ever. Bigger hospitals have it, and Warner Hospitals got it. Just another way Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton using the latest technology for positive patient outcomes. And there's more to come.
Don't miss the 68th Pike County Fair this weekend in Cerro Gordo. The Pike County Fair promises fun for the whole family. Thursday night features karaoke in the beer barn. Friday night is one of the first ITPA tractor pulls of the season. Saturday features kiddie pulls and family activities throughout the day. And local favorite Eric Burgett in the beer barn that night. Sunday features the antique tractor pull. Plus, you don't want to miss the livestock shows, your favorite fair foods, and so much more. Admission to this weekend's Pike County Fair in Cerro Gordo is free. Find the Pike County Fair on Facebook to see the full schedule.
SIU Center for Family Medicine inside the Logan County Health Department at 109 3rd Street in Lincoln provides complete family health care services to insured, underinsured, or uninsured. SIU Medicine offers a medicated assistance recovery clinic. The MAR Clinic assists those addicted to opioids. This clinic supports and treats people with the help they need. Complete dental services are available. Veteran assistance and financial aid are both available. Call SIU Center for Family Medicine in Lincoln for your appointment, 217-735-2317, or click their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Unbeatable prices and events are popping up everywhere at Rural King. Like an antique steel fire pit for just $49.98. Or your choice of 27-foot tie-down ratchet straps, just $7.99 a piece. And don't miss taking a spin on the baddest mowers at our Lawn Mower Rodeo. Saturday, June 18th from 10 till 2. Must be 16 or older to ride. Shop now at RuralKing.com or your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning, 24 minutes ahead of the hour as you're listening to the WHOW Morning Show, streamed live to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in this segment of the WHOW Morning Show is State Representative Dan Caulkins. And Mr. Representative, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Seth. Thank you very much for having me on today. It's
a
big day in Illinois. Big day.
Yeah, we appreciate you making time for us. And why is it a big day, Dan? What's on your mind this morning?
Well, I guess the chickens have finally come home to roost. Today, the electric grid operators have issued a warning to all of us in downstate Illinois that there may not be sufficient electricity to run our homes and businesses this afternoon. And they've asked everyone, and I want to make this perfectly clear, they've asked everyone, households, businesses, to please conserve electricity, particularly today with the heat, and today's the third day of this little heat wave we're going through. And there is a possibility that we could face rolling blackouts. I hope we don't ever have a brownout. That's absolutely the worst thing that could happen. But those things happen when emergencies occur on the grid. But we want to urge everyone today to please turn the thermostat up another couple degrees. Keep your refrigerators closed, and your freezers closed, and the house buttoned up tight. Draw your blinds, to help keep you cool. But we've got to conserve electricity today. Today's the very first day. This will be a test. This will be a test for all of us in Southern Illinois, Central Illinois. Can we actually do this? And don't count on your neighbors. Don't think, well, somebody else will do this. We turned the thermostat up in our house to 80. It's not uncomfortable, particularly when it's 100 outside. But we've got the house closed up, and we're going to ride this out. I don't think we're going to have any blackouts, but this is the first one this summer, and so we're urging everyone in your listening area, conserve electricity today and tonight. This evening is very, very dangerous. I think it starts somewhere around 4 o'clock. They're predicting a peak on the grid when people come home and try to cool their houses down or run the dishwasher. Please don't do that today. Hold off. Don't run the dishwasher. Don't do the laundry. please conserve electricity.
Yeah, it was funny yesterday. My kid comes home from a hot day at summer camp, and she's we do this a lot of times anyways. We've been practicing this for several years. It just keeps the bill down, and when we're not home during the day, it's there's no reason to have the thermostat on 70 or 72, so we bump it up to 75, 76 through the course of the day. And my kid comes home last night and she says, "We turn the air down to cool me off." And I said, "Grace, it's already 100 degrees outside. 75 is quite okay for now. We'll turn it down when we go to bed." And she seemed to be okay with that. But I guess, Dan, from your perspective, is this a fair ask of Illinois families?
It's not about fairness. It's about survival. And no, it's not fair. It hasn't been necessary. And I mean, I'll take you back last year, Seth. Remember last year when we went on, several of my fellow members of the General Assembly went on an energy tour, and we went to the coal plant, the coal generator, the coal mine. We were, up at Clinton. I took these folks on a tour of Clinton, and we warned people last year that this was going to come if we didn't change course. We even invited a governor to come to Clinton and take a tour. Of course, he had no interest in that because he has an ideology, and this is what's happened now. I don't know if you've heard the saying, but we're trying to fly this airplane while we're building it, and that's what people are talking about. Illinois, we have said that we're going to be completely renewable energy by 2050. Well, that scares the heck out of anyone that has invested in generators, electric generators in Illinois. And it has scared off anyone who would even think about coming to Illinois and building any new electric generators. We're doing that while we're closing down our existing coal-fired generators and then gas-fired generators. And we've done that before we filled the gap. And I don't know that we'll ever be able to fill the gap with this renewable solar and wind. And this is a very dangerous policy. And today is our first test. Can we come together and turn the thermostats up and try to make this work until we can get a new administration in Springfield, get more people elected to the General Assembly that we can turn this around. It's not going to be easy, but I think we can come together in November and make some decisions that'll help.
Again, our guest on the phone is State Representative Dan Caulkins, joining the program here for this morning. And Dan, you mentioned that this, and we have talked about this, on several occasions in the past, that this was somewhat predictable. I mean, like I said, you've been talking about this being a possibility for some time. I think we thought maybe it would come in July and August when, of course, you get into the dog days of summer, but the heat of the summer is here already. And everything I'm seeing from the National Weather Service, we talked with them last week, there's not going to be a reprieve anytime soon. In fact, this time next week, we're looking at temperatures again near triple digits. So it seems like we're in this for the long haul. What say you?
I agree, and this is a man-made. I'll say it. I mean, it's a catastrophe. This was designed by politicians in Springfield who have this new Green Deal ideology. Excuse me. And we tried and tried and tried during these discussions. We tried, to negotiate with them. But the Sierra Club and some of these other radical groups have put so much time, money, and effort into their campaigns and into supporting them that they aren't going to turn around. So there's only one way to deal with this at this point, and that is for the people of Illinois to rise up against anyone who voted for this Clean New Deal last year. And it's sad to say, but there were some Republicans that voted for this.
When it comes to, Dan, you mentioned new policy in Springfield. How do we reverse course? How do we get back to, mix of, renewables. I think there's some merits to the renewable energy conversation without question. But how do we, return to those fossil fuels that are so reliable? How about those things?
Well, your first part is correct, that there are, we transitioning to renewables is an admirable goal. And I'm putting up solar panels on a building next week, but that doesn't take care of our needs, our basic needs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We have to have enough generation capacity to meet our needs at all times. And when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing, we've got to have someplace to turn. And one of the easiest places to turn, obviously, are natural gas generators that they can turn them off and on. They can start them up when needed. But because of this philosophy, we're not going to see anyone want to come in here and build a generator. Indiana, on the other hand, they're getting, I can't remember, 4 new gas generators are being built in Indiana, but they're not getting here in time. So the state of Indiana has told 2 coal plants that they can't shut down for at least another 2 or 3 years. They've told them that while this transition is going on to natural gas, these coal plants must stay open. We don't have that philosophy here. Our politicians, the majority party in this state, aren't that smart or compassionate or informed. And there's only, the way we fix things in this country is through the ballot box. So if you're looking forward to going to the polls here or vote early, June 28th is our primary. Ask your candidates, what do you think about CEJA, Clean Energy Jobs Act? What do you think about shutting down all of our fossil fuel generators? Did you vote for CEJA if you're talking to an incumbent? Did you vote for CEJA? And we've got to remove those people and replace them with members of the General Assembly, House and Senate, who will reverse this. Let's take our time, but you can't force technology. So we've got to reverse this and hopefully sooner rather than later.
Dan, perhaps there's folks at home listening today that say, well, you're just a Republican coming on the radio peddling this into a political issue. What do you say to something of that nature?
Well, go MISO, go to Google MISO, and then look for their alerts. You can let me just quote North American Electric Reliability Corporation. North American Electric Reliability Corporation, a regulatory authority, monitors risks on the grids. And here's what they said. Regional grid have been put on notice. The forecast is facing, and I'm going to quote them, a high risk of energy emergencies during peak summer conditions. A major reason is that some of the coal plants that regulators assumed would keep running for another year or two are instead coming offline. That's Illinois, by the way. We have 2 more coal plants coming offline in September. So this is what they're saying. We are seeing these retirements occur at a faster pace than expected. The economics aren't great, so coal plant operators are saying, Uncle, they're pulling the plug. And here in Peoria, if you're in the Peoria news network, News 25, this is a Peoria TV station. And here's what they've reported yesterday. Central Illinois consumers will, quote, will pay double for energy starting this month as a deal mitigating costs for many communities expires with no contracts in sight. Communities like Peoria, Morton, and East Peoria all participate in municipal aggregation programs, and those programs aren't redone. City of Springfield has already asked Illinoisans to begin cutting back on consumption in order to reduce the risk of brownouts. I mean, it's here. Ameren. Ameren is telling us typical residential customers in the Ameren, Illinois service territory is expected to see a 54% increase in their energy bill starting this month. The actual impact will depend on the amount of energy used. Well, certainly. Yeah. I mean, you're paying for it by the kilowatt. So the more you use, the more you're going to pay. So, I mean, it's not just me.
Dan, let's take a time out here, my friend. Come back and talk some more.
Okay.
State Representative Dan Caulkins on the phone with us here on this morning on the WHOW Morning Show, streaming live to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Wednesday. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network. Corn lower, beans mostly higher, wheat starting the day lower. July corn 7.64 1/4 down 4. September corn down 5 3/4, 7.23 3/4. December new crop 7.17. That's down 4 1/4. July beans starting the day 16.94 1/2 down 4. August beans up a penny, 16.17 1/2, and November new crop 15.28 1/2. That's up 3 1/4. July wheat 10.44 3/4 down 5 1/2. September wheat down 5 1/4, 10.60. December wheat 10.75 1/2 down 5 3/4. July bean meal starting the day 4.11.80. That's up 80 cents, and July bean oil 78.50, up 22 cents. A look at the opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Wednesday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Having a hard time finding the correct new car, truck, SUV, or crossover to fit your needs? This is Scott Baum from Bob Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. Some lots look low on inventory, so go to our website, look at our pre-order and reserve tab. You'll see inventory in transit, which are built and on their way to Clinton, and in production, new Chevys and Buicks, which are being built and will arrive soon. Or you can always call our sales team. They can help you find the correct one just for you. BombChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Here's a supply chain update from your Clinton Save-A-Lot. Owner Dave Jackson here. Workers in retail and restaurants today are doing the best they can under very trying circumstances. That situation is no different here at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. It's been a team effort to keep our shelves stocked with the freshest meat, produce, and items you purchase every day. While many stores have cut hours and services, your Clinton Save-A-Lot has maintained our staffing level and regular hours thanks to my fantastic team of employees. Your Clinton Save-A-Lot appreciates your business, and we hope to see you soon.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. It is the WHOW Morning Show, streaming live to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the phone is State Representative Dan Caulkins. And Dan, a couple of big things. I mean, you mentioned today's a big day for Illinois with this, with these energy notifications going out. We talked about that in the first segment, but also coming down yesterday was big news that Caterpillar is going to exit stage left for the state of Texas. How about that big news from yesterday? What's your reaction?
It's another punch. I mean, it's another hit. Unfortunately, they're only moving about 200 jobs, 200 families out of Illinois. It's their corporate offices. They're not closing the plant here in Decatur or up in the Peoria area. I got a call from one of their government affairs people yesterday to give me a heads up. And he was very, very quick to say, we're still one of the largest employers in the state of Illinois. We're not moving any plants. This is a headquarters move. They're up in the Chicago suburbs, and we're going to be moving 200 families to Texas. Well, you know, that's terrible. I mean, what it does, it sends a signal. Are the 230 families moving going to tank Illinois? No. But what the result of this is a huge public relations nightmare for us. When, you know, we had Boeing already moved, you know, they announced they're moving their headquarters. And now here's Cat, one of the, in Peoria. I mean, that's where this is where this whole thing started. They're a huge corporation. And now they're moving their corporate office out of Illinois. And it's terrible. This is a result of the political climate. It's a result of the economic climate. It's a result of the social climate in Illinois. We've been subject to one-party rule for over 30 years with that space. But these companies are seeing the handwriting on the wall, and where they can move, they are. But what we don't see are companies that are making decisions on where to relocate or where to expand. And when they see Boeing leave and they see Cat leave, why would they be an outlier? And why would they decide to move to Illinois when they see these major Fortune 100 companies moving out? That's the unseen part of this that I think is very devastating.
Dan, do we know for sure that it was the political climate of Illinois that Caterpillar is moving out because of that? I kind of wondered that myself, but never really saw a reason for what they, why they sent those jobs to Texas. How about that?
Well, I mean, why would you uproot? It's like 230. Why would you just uproot 230 jobs? Why would you do that? I mean, it's not just Cat. Boeing, we talked about. Mars, Wrigley. I mean, Wrigley moving. I mean, this is a trend. And I tell you my fear. And my fear is that once these companies get their headquarters out of Illinois, it's going to make it easier for them to move manufacturing facilities, because they're no longer, their executives are no longer here, where they face the browbeating and public humiliation for wanting to move manufacturing facilities out. I think that's the problem I see looking into the future. This is I hate to say it, I don't like it, but once these corporate headquarters are gone and all these executives no longer have to face the governor and the local taxpayers,
thank you.
It makes it easier for them to make decisions about their manufacturing facilities.
Well, and I know you've got, the, folks on the ground in terms of, some executives, I'm sure, in Decatur and Peoria and such. But when you've got, the executives at those levels, but they're not, mingling with the executives 2 hours away, they have to take a flight to Texas to talk with those people or, converse electronically. That's not ideal, I'm sure, for company operations. So, that's probably another reason for moving those, if that's something Caterpillar decides to do. But in the meantime, Dan, with this, anything else, any other thoughts on Cat in terms of their Chicago jobs leaving the area? Anything we haven't touched on there that you want to talk about? Well,
I think this is again, these problems are man-made. And anything that man has made, man can undo. And we'll get a little political with you again, but we have got to change course. We have got to move the state back to the center. And I'm just urging people to please go vote this month, June 28th primary. Educate yourself. Look at the candidates that are running. Look at who they are, not just what they say, and pick accordingly. The future of this state, our economy, depends on it.
Dan, always good to talk to you, sir. Thanks for making time for us.
You bet. Seth, thank you, and thank you for allowing me to speak to the audience this morning.
Sure.
We'll talk soon.
Very good. State Representative Dan Caulkins on the phone with us. Network News is next.
The Big 1520 WHOW